As with many neighborhoods in Sarasota, transition's taking place. Old Florida is slowly going away and modern contemporary design is taking its place. Today we are in one such build here in Arlington Park. RJ Diaz and Modus Builders have crafted this home that we're about to tour today. Before we get into it with RJ, let me give you the quick stats on this house. Just shy of 3,000 square foot, consists of 4 bedrooms, 3 full, 1 half bathroom, an in-ground pool, and a 2-car garage. I love this concept where you come in and you've got a ton of glass.
Architect that I've partnered on a few projects with has said oftentimes to me when we talk about projects and discuss lighting, the most efficient light bulb is the one you don't have to put on.
Sure.
Right? So as much daylight harvesting as we can possibly offer to a home. And obviously glass is one of the bigger expenses on a house, and when you're approaching it, especially as a spec build, you have to be careful and you have to sort of toe that line, right? So you want to maximize both eastern, western, not as much southern because you get the heat load effect, right? But as much morning light and late evening light that you can bring into a house, the better.
Makes sense.
And obviously lighting plays an important part, but if you can get as much of the daylight so that you don't have to turn on a light bulb, it's just going to make it a more efficient home.
Yeah, and I think as people will come throughout the space, they're going to see that not only the natural light's fantastic, but you guys have done an exceptional job selecting the man-made light throughout the space. This is a feature that I think really took my breath away the first time I came in, is this art installation, sculpture. Right. How do you define it? What do you call it? Because
well, this was done by hand over many days, lots of drying time in between, and it's just made with compound, with regular drywall compound, right? So it's an artist, a local artist that the homeowner decided to work with, and he has seen it done on a few occasions and thought it would be a great way to introduce this idea of, or maybe amplifying this idea of the organic modern concept.
I love it. Is this something you think will this be in another future home for Modus, you think?
I think it'll be very carefully applied as a tool.
Yeah.
And you don't want to overdo it, right? You want to have unique features for the different homes that you do, and you want to make it special for every home buyer.
Makes sense. Yeah. And speaking of special, we're in a kitchen that's obviously special. The counters, the waterfall edge is incredible. Is there something in here that was tried it out for the first time, that was a new unique concept or something like that, something that really stands out in this space?
Well, for us, using the countertops, we used a porcelain material, which I wasn't used to using as a countertop material. And so being able to do built-up edges and do the waterfall and doing, applying this butterfly effect, because we wanted the Long Island, but we didn't have material that's long enough, right? So we had to incorporate the idea of doing a butterfly effect or I forget
what they call it, book match. Is that
right?
The term for it as well?
So you take it right and you make a pattern for the top and make it look natural.
It's fantastic. It turned out really well. There's some other really fantastic use of stone throughout the space. I think behind the wet bar over here, again next to some actual stationary glass, right? So again, you're maximizing that natural sunlight. Is that backlit as well, or is it just kind of the look of that stone that gives it?
It's just the look of the stone.
It's really pretty.
Right.
What is that you used over there?
That's also a porcelain material. It's made to look like agate, right?
Okay. Yep.
So it is a printed effect, but true agate is super expensive. What is nice about it is you can backlight it, but again, we're trying to weigh the balance of cost and benefit and the look and the aesthetics of the house.
Very cool. Another fantastic use of it over here with the 2-sided fireplace, which I'm sure is exceptional when you're sitting by the pool, right? You can look back in. Right. And I love the drop-down screen. So you've got the unobstructed view, you've got that natural light, but in the event that you do want to put on something to watch, you can do that with a push of a button.
Exactly. So, I mean, the idea here is because we are limited in space, right? We were trying to create a no more than 3,000 square foot home.
Yeah.
That allows you multiple purposes, right? So you have, in effect, a living room, that's a family room, that could be a home theater room where we have the shades that drop down and make it dark enough so that you can enjoy a drop down large screen movie, or take the TV out of the way and make it more of a conversational area.
Yeah, and what I think is really interesting is it's easy to build these spaces into a big home, right? It's easy to put, 10,000 square foot, you can have it all. I think the idea, it's kind of like a Swiss Army knife, right? Like you've got multiple uses.
That's right.
And this neighborhood in particular seems to be, much like west of the trail was, and still is, it's certainly pushing over here into Arlington Park. These smaller lots, smaller homes, a lot of them just kind of outlived their useful life. And I think this concept over here is what we're gonna see a lot of.
Yes.
I've got to imagine you can agree.
I agree.
I'd like to thank RJ with Modus for giving us the tour today of this exceptional property here in Arlington Park. I'd encourage you to check out Modus on Instagram. And also, this property, interestingly enough, just hit the market. So if you're absolutely in love with it, get in touch with me. Would be happy to schedule a time to get in with Joe Russo at Courtyard Modern to show you this exquisite property. Like the video, share it, subscribe to the channel, and let me know if there's any particular neighborhoods you'd like me to focus on next for some of these exceptional builds taking place in Sarasota. Be well.